Hello and welcome to Aging Fearlessly, a place where we learn to create our best life. I am your host, Guillermo Vidal. Now, some of you know I've been devoting my attention to ABC's The Golden Bachelor program. And I've done this because I thought it would give me the chance to discuss the challenge of developing healthy love relationships in your later stages of life. But this has been hard to do because I don't know what is scripted or what is real. So I'm left to wonder, were the show's participant told what to say or do in these shows? I don't know. But based on what I've seen, I will call out any lessons and behaviors that I believe you should be on the lookout for when searching for a romantic partner. So now that we have seen the full palette of Gary Turner's search for a new wife, what are the lessons we can take away from the experience? Now I'm only going to mention 3, although I think there are many more. So let's start. Lesson 1. Man, Americans love fairy tales. Now, keeping in mind the wars in Ukraine and Gaza, as well as the daily examples of the political divide that dominates our country's politics, it is not hard to understand why so many look to find refuge in the Golden Bachelor fairy tale. And many have, as viewers have certainly flocked to the program in the tens of millions, making the Golden Bachelor one of the most watched shows on TV today. But I do have trouble understanding the appeal. This is not a typical fairy tale where boy meets girl and they fall in love and then live happily ever after. The Golden Bachelor is a fabricated story. A boy meets 22 girls in a very unrealistic setting, and then he has 8 weeks to figure out which one of them he will marry. So the reason I chose to be the contrasting voice to the fantasy bullshit that is the Golden Bachelor is that this fantastical fairy tale is nowhere close to what the reality of dating when you're over 45 is really like. The fact is that most people who are becoming single again after a decades-long relationship are left very vulnerable as they pick up the pieces of their broken lives. I want to protect these vulnerable people from being sucked into believing that the model shown in this program is what they should expect when they finally put themselves out there to find a new love. Let me be clear. Dating in the later stages of life can be complex and full of landmines. And these are not resolved with a conversation or two followed by some kissy face. It takes resilience, patience, and self-reflection to work through these issues. And that can take some time after your breakup or loss. And by time, I don't mean just a few weeks. Okay, lesson number 2. Integrity matters. Now let's first define what integrity is. To me, integrity is the personal commitment you make to yourself that you will always behave ethically, respect other people, be generous, and do the right thing even when no one is looking over your shoulder. As I get older, I come to treasure my personal integrity above anything else because it is the very basis of my character. Without integrity, your character is simply an empty shell that is always looking for its fill at the expense of others. I believe without integrity, you cannot create your best life or a greater good in this world, and why I think that is so important. Now, there are 3 characteristics of being a person of integrity that I want to emphasize. Being authentic, being honest, and never taking advantage of others. Now, in the Golden Bachelor's final episodes, the teaching moments arrive when Gary Turner behaves without integrity. He tells 3 women, Faith, Leslie, and Teresa, that he's in love with all 3 of them. He's clearly not being authentic, nor honest, for he does this to deepen their connection to him without any consideration of how this fake commitment will hurt them. Now, this damage first became apparent when Gary selected Leslie and Teresa over Faith. Given a chance to confront him, Faith tells Jerry that his having told him that he loved her and then 24 hours later that love meant nothing was very hurtful. Turner rationalized his behavior with the statement, "I felt it then, but not now." Now, to me, that statement was a crock of shit. Gary's false promises exposed a lack of concern for how Faith would be affected. Turner does the same thing to Leslie in the final episode. after having told Leslie that he loved her and that he thought she was the one, it only took Gary 12 hours to back out of those words. He tells Leslie that he is in love with Teresa. It is at this point that Leslie demonstrates great integrity when she confronts Gary with his lies. She was authentic when she straightforwardly and without insults told him the truth. You lied to me. Turner's response to Leslie was just as misleading as his others. I handled this the best way I thought I should, he admitted. Meaning, he was thinking about himself and not how it would affect this vulnerable woman he had convinced he was selecting. Leslie once again showed her integrity when she said, I don't accept your apology, but I understand it. It's too bad that the directors and producers of this show don't deal with this unnecessary suffering that Gary Turner spread on these last two women. It certainly added to their heartbreak. Predictably, the program moves on to how wonderful it is that Gary picks Teresa and now they're going to get married. Woohoo! Let's celebrate the new lovebirds. Gag me with a spoon, please. At the end of the show, I am left wondering if the real winners are the 21 women who did not get chosen, and that the real loser is the chosen one, Teresa. I sure hope I am wrong. But it is Leslie who walks out standing strong and determined that she is worth being loved by someone who sees her magic. I think she's better equipped now than ever before for this journey, and I also believe she will succeed. As I close this program, I do want to speak about the third thing we can learn from the Golden Bachelor. And it is the thing that I stress the most in this YouTube channel about growing older. And that is, number 3, everything is possible. And this is true no matter your age. Let's give credit where credit is due. It is admirable that these 22 women and Gary Turner signed up for this program, hoping they might find love. Apparently, Gary and Teresa do fall in love, which proves on its own face that finding love at any age is possible. But it is also admirable that the other 21 women gave their best effort in their pursuit. They may not have found love this time, but they are strengthened in their belief love is possible as a result of their pursuit. So remember, no matter your age, finding love is still possible. But so is everything else you're driven to pursue. You have what it takes, but you can't let society convince you that you do not because you're older. Everything is still possible, so never give up. Never give in to the plans others have for you, and never, ever stop going after your dreams. Thank you for watching today, and don't forget to subscribe to this program if you want to receive these encouraging messages in the future. Take care.